Welcome to the Mike Miller Show.
Will I be a good man? Will I be true to myself? Be true to you.
Normally, I would say Happy Wednesday, America. Happy Wednesday, Jessica. But today, I have to say Happy Heterosexual Pride Day, America. Jessica.
Is that actually happening right now?
Well, why would I say it if it wasn't?
I mean, I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, see, that's why you listen to the show, as well as participate in it. Yes, today is officially Heterosexual Pride Day.
Okay.
It is. And that the hashtag Heterosexual Pride Day, as you might imagine, has blown up on Twitter.
I can't imagine that.
Social media all over. Heterosexual Pride Day. Anyway, you guys, welcome to the Mike Miller Show. I am, what did Dennis Miller, cousin Dennis, used to say? I am the aforementioned Mr. Miller, and the voice that you also hear is producer extraordinaire Jessica Jane. So, yeah, Jessica, this is Heterosexual Pride Day. It is has been huge. Oh, no, wait, huge on Twitter. I mean, you got posts, not posts, you got major articles in the UK on a lot of their sites. They're all over it. It's happening as we speak. I put up an article, a post, as it were. For those of you new to the show, I'm an editor with Independent Journal Review. That would be IJR.com. Yeah, we're one of the big guys. Hey, can I go off on a tangent before I get into this?
Sure. I mean, that's our thing.
Well, yeah, and it's our show. That's who we are. It's what we do. So I want to think last Friday, some of us, a few of the editors, I think another couple of people on IJR, like we have this backdoor system. We use Slack, for those of you that know. I guarantee you nobody listening knows what Slack is, but it's kind of our instant messaging thing. It's much more than that. But that's what we use. So one of the guys decided that it would be a good idea if we were to come up with, no, we haven't gone together, Brexit nicknames for any of the states that might choose. This was all kind of just tongue in cheek. Like if any of the states in the country decided to kind of break away from the country as Great Britain did with the Brexit vote, right? You with me?
Yes, I am with you.
Yeah, so we came up with nicknames for all 50 states, should that happen. And we were just goofing around, and then somebody said, we should post this. And then somebody else said, well, yeah, but we're like taking a bit more serious in this. So we talked about that and decided what the hell to go ahead and publish it anyway. So as luck would have it, when Chuck Todd closes out Meet the Press Sunday, he goes, so he mentions Brexit, and they have the whole thing set up. And he goes, meanwhile, the folks over at Independent Journal Review, and they even they being NBC graphics department, created a map, and he referenced it, and then they showed their top 5 of our 50 names.
Oh, that's awesome.
2 of them were mine.
Oh, good job. What were your 2?
No, whatever. Mine were Obayo, which I wasn't particularly fond of, but I just threw it out there. But the one that I do take pride in is Tennessee You Later.
Oh, I like that one too. Those are good.
Yeah.
Those are good.
I had, you got to play with the capital letters. I had No, Remain, and stuff like that. But we had some really good ones. We had a few that weren't that good, but we all kind of got a kick out of it. In fact, I posted the clip on Facebook of Todd. I think actually a couple different places, but of Todd actually hitting that. So I thought that was kind of fun.
I mean, that's pretty awesome. I think it is fun. I was actually thinking of some of those myself, because they were like, with the European Union, like they needed Britain, like other states in the Union are gonna start leaving too, and what would their names be?
Well, you remember we had Jennifer Burke on.
Yes,
last week, and we talked about Texit, and that one writes itself.
Yeah.
So we had that one, but Yeah, it's kind of fun, man. The whole EU thing and Great Britain, and now there's suspicion that Cameron, by punting on this, invoking whatever they call it, Article 50, which actually is the mechanism within the agreement with the EU to exit the EU, that he punts this down the road, and whomever succeeds him will have to do that. And then, of course, there's going to be a bunch of debate in between. And then, the question of whether, geez, man, do we really want to do this, or do we want to do over? And that might be kind of.
Well, they're passing out. Aren't they passing out like oh my gosh, I just lost the name. But they got like 2 million signatures, to try to do another referendum.
Well, a do-over, of course they do. They do. And how many signatures would they get to say hell no? Right?
Exactly.
Now, the deal is, I mean, this is not binding. This is a suggestion, if you will, to the government, to Parliament. So, there are those, shall we call them sore losers? But anyway, people on the stay side, on the remain side, that would love to do that. But then on the leave side, they're thinking, no, I mean, we did it once. So, I mean, it will be interesting to see how this all plays out, because Cameron has to be out. He said he is. So we got the mayor, and his name escapes me, of ex-mayor of London, Londonistan, was a big leave guy. He is suspected to be in the running to become the next prime minister. And you have people dropping out of labor like crazy. I mean, they're having a hangover of this stuff. So, I mean, we're going to keep watching that between now and November, and then we'll see what's going to happen. October, which is when Cameron officially exits. And I'm suspecting they're going to be calling early elections. But anyway, so that was a tangent. We got to get back to Heterosexual Pride Day. Number one Twitter hashtag, big time, worldwide. Liberals' hair on fire, Jessica.
Well, yes, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. Let me see. I put a whole bunch of tweets in this post I put up a while ago. Tweets don't really translate well to doing a radio show, but let me just kind of read a couple of them, because a lot of people include GIFs, right? For those of you, GIFs, those are images as opposed to videos that you post and they're animated, right? Usually they're just like recycled. They don't have sound or anything. Mm-hmm. Amy put one up. It's a like angry black dude in camo. Look, and it says hashtag Keanu. I don't know what that means, but Amy tweeted in this angry black dude GIF, and it says this hashtag is like having a White History Month. See, the whole thing is a hashtag.
Yeah. Wow, that's a really long one.
Yeah, it's hashtag Heterosexual Pride Day, spelled as it sounds. Hashtag Heterosexual Pride Day. That's it. I mean, we're not having heterosexual pride parades, people. This is a hashtag. Tom says, at hashtag Heterosexual Pride Day, y'all so brave. Must be hard being able to hold hands and kiss in public without getting attacked. All right, Jessica, I think he has a point, right?
I do think he has a point.
Then you have to go to my post. You have to see this, because this might be RuPaul. I don't know. But somebody else puts up a GIF. Can I get a gay men?
They were.
That sounds like something RuPaul would do, doesn't it?
Well, yes, they are definitely going off of. Can I get an amen?
Yeah. Can I get a gay man? Some people suggested, Jessica, that every day is Heterosexual Pride Day. So happy it's finally Heterosexual Pride Day. It's been a whole day since the last one. And the next guy, happy Heterosexual Pride Day, also known as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and on and on. Yeah. What's next? Hashtag Breathing Air Day. So there were there's just people that kind of pointed that out, that every day supposedly Heterosexual Pride Day. Somebody put up a flag. This was pretty clever photoshopping. This guy says, Christopher says, wasn't sure they had one, but after some Googling, I found the heterosexual Pride Day flag. And it's a blue sky. You have
That's an
a
actual
white
flag.
flag flapping in the wind with a picture of a crying baby on it. There are a lot of gifs, like people just like Judge Judy shaking her head. They couldn't believe it and stuff. A few people took a shot at Trump. What's this one say? April says, wow, look at this amazing shot from the heterosexual pride parade this year. And it's somebody holding up this is photoshopped. There's Trump in his Make America Great Again hat. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for President Trump. That was supposedly the heterosexual pride parade. Another one hit Trump. Heterosexual Pride Day is a reminder we must keep marriage between one man and a series of progressively younger women. And it shows pictures of Donald at various stages of his life, marrying everywhere from, what was her name, Ivana to Marla Maples to now Melania. Picture of him. Did you ever see that really creepy picture of Trump and with Ivanka? She was younger. Did you ever see that thing?
I don't think I did.
Oh man, they're sitting on this. They're sitting on this. I don't know what the hell this is. There's palm trees in the background. It's some little kind of. It's not a statue, but it is whatever. But it's got. There's like a big parrot, a couple of parrots on the front of it. She's sitting on his lap. It's very creepy. She's looking at him and she's cupping his. Oh, let me say that real quick because that could get bad quickly. She's cupping his chin in her hand. And so they got that up there. I'm kind of stalling because I'm sending you this, and you got to scroll down. This is the actual post that I put up. But you got to scroll down and look at this picture of the Donald and Ivanka. It's extremely creepy. And then a lot of people put up, obviously there are people like this guy, my husband, or this woman, my husband and I are going to make out on the corner to celebrate heterosexual Pride Day. He and I are a hot couple. Somebody else put up a picture of himself and his wife and their baby. So there's a bunch of stuff like that.
That is
Steven,
kind of creepy.
that's really creepy, isn't it?
Yeah, like I thought
How
maybe
old
she
do
was
you
a
think
little
she is
kid,
there?
and she looks like she's like 16 or so. That's weird.
That's very creepy. And he said earlier this year, like if she wasn't his daughter, that he would date her. You remember him saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all pretty creepy. So I got Crowder. Crowder was hilarious. You know who Steven Crowder is?
Yes, I do.
I included a couple of his in here. He goes, don't worry, when I beat Mrs. Crowder, the bruises are nowhere you can see them. And the other one he put up, he goes, the missus will fulfill her wifely duties in support of, quote, heterosexual pride day, hashtag heterosexual pride day. Should she shirk, I'll convert to Islam and beat her. So
Oh my God.
anyway, heterosexual pride day, hashtag reverse, but it's just, so let me ask you, we're going to, it occurs to me we're going to spend a damn half hour on heterosexual pride day. Hopefully not. But so what do you think about that, just in general? The fact that somebody puts this out there. Are you, I mean, and I don't know why I throw this disclaimer in. Jessica, not gay, but Jessica has many gay friends. I have a couple, but Jessica, you have me beat. That sounded like somebody that says, me being like, oh, I know a couple of black people. But I'm just saying, are you offended by this, or do you think gay people should be offended by this?
I'm not offended by it. I can see where gay people would be offended by it because, I mean, especially in light of recent events,
Well, but
they're
you
all
know what?
very
I mean,
angry right
they
now.
have to get over
Yeah.
that because FBI and everybody else came out and said there is no proof or even suggestion that guy shut up that club in Orlando because it was a gay nightclub. And we could debate that at some other time, like as we
Yeah.
have in the past. But just in general, forget about that, okay? And whether that happened or not, let's go in this direction. Whether that happened in Orlando or not, these people on Twitter would still be offended. Do you think they should?
Yes, they would be offended. I mean, I think people are just get offended by anything right now, and I think that's ridiculous. But I can see how some people may take issue with it.
Tell me, like, play devil's advocate. Tell me, like, what their at least in their minds, their legitimate reason for taking offense would be.
Well, I mean, there are people that still because it's in the sense of heterosexual people still have, there's still not a stigma anything with heterosexual people.
Right.
Um, so homosexual people still do have to deal with, a lot of adversity. As much as it's accepted now, there's still a lot of. I mean, I actually experienced it recently. It's just people just going down the street calling you very bad names and
Yeah.
doing things. So
Faggot and
yeah,
queer and everything, right?
all of that, yes.
Yeah.
And it's it's ridiculous, and it doesn't sound like it's something that happens, but that's exactly what pride started out became like came from was okay, fine, call me this, call me all these names, I'm proud to be all this stuff. So I
Yeah.
can totally understand why people would be upset. It's like, look, you never had to deal with any of this. Like, what is the? Why are you trying to, take this? So I see it. I see it.
Are you okay? Are you sitting down?
Yep.
I agree with you to a large extent.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, and you know my position on gays, right?
I do.
People who know me other places would probably guess that I would be the typical right wing, I hate gays and everything they touch. But no, I mean, I have supported rights for gays, and I'm saying this to people who may be new listeners. Um, uh, for years, and as a financial planner, and again, I'm repeating this from shows gone by, but I believed in survivor right. Yeah, I financial planning clients, fee-based financial planning clients who were gay, and I believed in survivor benefits and the like. You and I have talked about various aspects of same-sex marriage, particularly as it relates to churches being forced or not to perform them. But in terms of rights, I have, and I have, and I'll say it, and again, it sounds patronizing, but it's not. I still have several gay friends from that business. But having said that, I also understand the other side, and maybe when it comes to like some of the parades, particularly I think of the one in San Francisco, not so much the one in New York City, but that gets pretty disgusting in terms of if you were to take a child there and some of the stuff you see. Do you agree with that?
I definitely agree that it is not a place for children. And that's actually.
Do you see how that could provoke people just
Oh, I
they don't
agree.
give a damn, obviously. Do you see how it could provoke people to say, why do you have to do that? Like, why do look, yes, pride and you deserve equal, well, you deserve equality under the law and everything else, but why do you have to march in a parade half naked or in a diaper looking like an idiot?
Um, yeah, I can see. I definitely see it. There's actually kind of an argument in the gay community itself as far as you know like the people in a way there's people that are like, well, we do this because the people that get the attention are the people that go to the
That's not
extreme.
good attention, though.
Exactly, but there are people like, publicity, any publicity is good publicity. And then there's the other people that are like, you know what, I'm gay, but I'm not that gay, like I'm not that kind of
You know who
person,
Tammy
you
Bruce
know.
is?
Yes, I do.
I respect the crap out of Tammy Bruce. She thinks that stuff is nonsense. You know who Guy Benson is?
I don't know him.
You should look up Guy Benson. You should Google Guy Benson and you should look at some video where he's been on Fox or anywhere else. He's gay. I want to say Town Hall, but I could be wrong.
Hmm.
Guy Benson is awesome. He's a voice of reason. So yeah, I mean, at any rate, this kind of stuff guaranteed to to the purpose of it, and by it I mean back to hashtag heterosexual Pride Day, guaranteed to get a raise out of folks. And
Well,
happy, as I said on on Independent Journal Review, happy heterosexual Pride Day or unhappy heterosexual Pride Day, depending on your point of view. Depending on your point of view or not, this kind of stuff gets a raise and it draws attention.
it definitely does. And Well, that's the thing is I don't know if that's the right kind of attention that people want to bring, but I understand both sides of that issue. Um, and it's like, going back to a little bit about, the displaying of stuff. It's like I was on in a location and there was two people, really going to town. I mean, like
Gays or heterosexuals?
homosexuals,
Okay.
and they were I went to, I went to go get ice, and they were just in the hallway doing their business, and I like walked over there and I was like, whoa. And they were like, oh, you're just
Did you know any of these people? Did you know
no,
these
I
people?
didn't know them at all,
Did
no.
you, and you said something?
But one, no, I would just was like, whoa,
Oh,
I walked into the wrong hallway,
oh, yeah.
yeah. And they were like, oh, you're just upset because we're gay. And I was like,
You
no,
know what? But I wouldn't want to see heterosexuals doing that.
exactly. But I said, I'm like, I'm not upset that you're gay. I'm upset that you are not in your room right now. Like I'm trying to clean this up as much as possible because I
Yeah.
said something a little bit more extreme. But I was just like, I'm upset that you're not in your room right now. Like, are you crazy? And then they looked at me and they like got like immediately got ashamed and they went into the room and I was like, that's all you need to do. Like you were right there.
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you. And it's true. But anyway, I get a kick out of this kind of stuff. Um, Less the subject. Well, yeah, sometimes less the subject matter and more like Twitter is awesome, right? The people
Yes.
going back and forth at each other
Oh, totally.
over stuff. Speaking of gays and pride and parades and everything, did you see Hillary showed her bold, and I put bold in quotes in my headline on IJR a couple of days ago. Her bold commitment. She marched in the New York City Gay Pride Parade. Did you see that?
I did not see that, but I'm not
She
surprised
did.
at all. I
Huh?
actually, it's interesting because I like walked in a pride parade this weekend, so
Well, how far did you walk? About?
we did the whole route. It was
Yeah,
about
about how far
four
was that?
miles, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, that's like maybe your typical parade.
yeah.
Guess how far Hillary marched in the New York City Gay Pride Parade?
10 feet. I don't.
4 blocks.
Yep, yep. That sounds like
Yeah,
that.
that
Totally
sounds
sounds
like
like
Hillary,
Hillary.
doesn't it?
Yes, 100%.
Pandering pantsuit. And let's keep in mind, folks, Hillary, and well, let me be fair. Let me be fair to pantsuit. Hillary has supported, well, not all, but many rights for gays for years. Okay, I have to be fair there.
Mhm.
Jessica, do you know when Hillary finally flip flopped? Well, evolved, I guess, evolved, and came out in support of same sex marriage?
That was recently. It was
2013.
yeah.
Yeah, Hillary ran against gay marriage in 2008 against Barack Obama.
Well, I think I find that incredibly interesting.
Well, but she evolved. And of course, listen, Barack Obama, um, was it 2010? He said that I am constantly evolving on this. Democrats evolve on shit, on stuff when they flip flop, right? They always use the word evolve. He said on Sunday, some Sunday in 2010, I linked to this in this article I wrote, that he was, quote, constantly evolving on same sex marriage.
Mhm.
On Sunday, as luck would have it, by Wednesday of that week, he fully evolved and came out in support of same sex marriage. So yes, Democrats have, and we know why Democrats evolve on everything from same sex marriage to immigration reform, i.e., blanket amnesty for illegals in this country, because you can generally connect anything Democrats believe and or eventually evolve to with one dot or possibly two to the ballot box, right?
Yeah.
That's who they are and that's what they do. So anyway, so Hillary, I got some decent views on this thing, but Hillary Hillary was as you might imagine, was hammered on Twitter. Again, I love Twitter for her bold commitment to march a whole 4 blocks in the parade. They people were not happy. Some were. Raymond Braun was happy. At Hillary Clinton, this is so fabulous. Why is the word fabulous been attached to gay people?
I don't know.
It has.
I don't actually know that at all.
Like Zip has a good time. My buddy Weasel Zipper, he's always, oh, this is fabulous. But yeah, the word fabulous. I guess Barbara Streisand is fabulous, and Celine Dion and people like that. But he goes, this is so fabulous. Thank you for marching with all of us in the NYC and for championing equality for all. And he does this is pretty clever. He does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hearts. They're all, the various colors of the rainbow. That was actually pretty clever. Catherine, whatever her name is, Ejo, she includes a graphic in her tweet, and it's June 25th, 2000, Women's History Month. Hillary became the first sitting first lady to march in a gay pride parade, and it shows a picture of her with her thumb in the air wearing this dopey cowboy-looking hat. I don't know what it is, gaucho-looking hat. And that's when it started to go downhill. Then the Dream tweets, then why did she oppose gay marriage until 2013? And then the Dream tweets again, she was only willing to do it when it was politically beneficial. She was little principle, little conviction. You know who Sean King is, right?
Yes, I do.
He's the male Rachel Dolezal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dolezal. Yeah, he's a white guy that pretends he's black. Nice avatar. He's where the hell is he? He's New York Daily News now. But anyway, he goes, nice avatar, lying, pandering Hillary. LBGTs, no, you support us only when it's politically advantageous. History says otherwise. You probably do not know who Rick Grinnell is. He's a conservative. He's often on Fox News, was a higher up in, I want to say, State Department, and in intelligence and stuff. Like Guy Benson, this guy is, I just, whatever. He's not your, well, anything I say is going to just sound bad, so I'll just go on. He tweets, Hillary Clinton marched 4 blocks in the NYC Pride Parade, and again, he's gay, and endorsed gay marriage in 2013. This is no profile in courage. He followed up with, she literally came out for gay marriage in 2013, 9 years after Dick Cheney did. She ran for president in 2008 against it, and he was right. She did not flip-flop to supporting gay marriage till 2013. So, Hillary Clinton. I can't believe we talked the whole half hour, the whole first half hour about heterosexuals and gays.
I don't either. I mean, it's interesting.
Depending on who you pay attention to or who you believe, I mean, the percentage of what do you would maybe know better than I know we're under a couple of minutes here, but what percentage of America do you believe, and I've seen numbers, are gay?
I think it's 1 in 10. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the percentages that you see are slightly over 1%. Now, let's even assume that there are twice as many because the other half don't want to come out of the closet, right?
Yeah.
So let's say it's 2%. Well, no. You said 1 in 10. That's 10%.
That is 10%. Yeah.
I would be surprised if it's that high, but let's say it is. Let's even say it's 20%. Is there not an inordinate amount of time, effort, hand-wringing on both sides spent on the entire issue?
In some ways, I think there is a little bit too much time spent on it, but I can see when someone is being disenfranchised,
I agree with you.
Yeah, that's the, it's just the focus.
But do you disagree with me that it is to the forefront as much as it is because of liberal pandering to gays?
Oh, I definitely agree with that. It's kind of the same thing why, all the issues that are at the forefront right now are at the forefront because it's politicians pandering to, especially, like Democratic
Yeah, I'm glad you
politicians
clarified that because I don't see, and again, I could be
pandering.
proved wrong. I don't see Republicans pandering to a whole lot of people, except the evil rich, of course. And I'm saying that tongue in cheek because that I don't think happens. But yeah, I think it's Democrat pandering that makes all this stuff happen, whether it's abortion rights or gay people or hashtag Black Lives Matter or the whole bit. I mean, that's just me. I could be wrong.
I agree with you, and I think just the Republicans pander to the Christian, like the crazy Christians.
Oh no, that well, yes, I will
Not
give you
that
that
not
to an extent.
yeah.
I don't know so much about the crazy Christians, but yes, I mean the term crazy Christians. I do think that you're exactly
No,
right. That
there's
particular
there's a
conservative Republicans play
particular
the
sect that are crazy Christians. Not I'm
Christian.
not
Oh,
saying
yeah, but let's say it this way: Republicans do play the Christian card. Yes,
yes. Okay.
they do. All right, we got to get out of here. I have to tell you, a radio station in the Northeast labeled me yesterday.
Oh, really? We need to
And
talk
I'm
about
going
that.
when we come back from the break, I'm going to tell you what that label is and see if you agree. All right.
Okay.
All right. Kick us out of here. We'll be right back, you guys.
Would I be a good man? Would I be true? True to myself, be true to you. The devil is
Hello, I'm Matt, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is Hillsdale President Larry Arnn on the continuing relevance of the Constitution.
Many argue today that the Constitution is outdated because it addresses problems peculiar to the 18th century. Some parts of the Constitution do read rather quaintly. Consider the injunction against titles of nobility in Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution. But is that so outdated? The purpose of the injunction is to prevent the government granting special privileges to some for partisan reasons. This strikes at the heart of the rule of law. The crony capitalism so common today is a place where the government bestows favors and tax dollars on some businesses to give them a leg up over others. This is exactly the kind of thing the Constitution was meant to prohibit. The Constitution is not so outdated after all.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To join the national conversation on the Constitution, go to constitutionminute.com.
Doug, I never thought I could go back to school, but when it's this easy, it fits.
I'm right there with you, Jackie, taking classes, watching lectures in the living room on the iPad. It's not hard.
I can be a mom, make dinner, get my classwork done, and not miss a moment with my family. It's amazing.
Yes, it is.
Hey, it's Jackie Velasquez, and if Doug and I can do this, you can do this too. Higher education with Liberty University Online.
Find out more about completing your college degree at the world's largest Christian university, Liberty University. Get all the details right now. Grab your cell and dial pound 250. When prompted, say the keyword Liberty University.
Training champions for Christ since 1971, Liberty University Online. Find out more about learning online. Dial pound 250, then say the keyword Liberty University.
Liberty University Online with hundreds of degree programs to choose from. Call now, pound 250. Say the keyword Liberty University.
That's pound 250, say keyword Liberty University.
a good man with the devil inside, and I'd be a good man without you.
All right. So, Jessica, here, by the way, you guys, welcome back, or anyone new joining in. So somebody told me that I messaged me that I was referred to. I have to. I still haven't checked this out. I know the name of the person. North. Did I say northeastern? I meant northwest. Did I say northwest before the break?
I think you
Anyway.
said Northwest, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, which we know, like the People's Republic of, right? We have Seattle and we have Portland and different places up there. But anyway, as a, quote, top shelf blogger and unabashed, unabashed to some, unabashed Trump critic. That, and I will tell you what that was in reference to, because I have this theory. So like, I don't know that I don't think of myself as a top shelf blogger. I could be whatever. I mean, I've blogged for a long time, but I guess it's safe to say, Jessica, that I am an unabashed Trump critic, right?
I do think it's very safe to say that.
So yeah, I mean, I I think they were probably onto something. But anyway, it was actually a I don't know that it was a left-handed compliment, but the purpose of even talking about me in the first place was this person. I had posted something on Facebook just as a thought as I was watching Trump talk yesterday, and this person says, "This is an interesting point that I had not thought about," and did the thing about the point I made. So I just thought it was like, I've never been told, here's how someone just referred to you, right? Because you kind of look at it like third party. Like I'm reading about this guy, Mike Miller, top shelf blogger and unabashed Trump critic. And I thought, all right, at least half of that is true. But so here's the deal. Here's what it was in reference to.
Okay.
And yes, I am a aforementioned commenter on Mr. Trump. But so it occurs to me, because Donald Trump, and I, excuse me, in this Facebook post, I use the word crazy. Now, Donald Trump is not that crazy is a medical term, but Donald Trump is not crazy, but Donald Trump's crazy. Right. I mean, to the extent that Donald Trump will say or do anything, and he's kind of like the little kid, like you tell him not to do something and he'll do it even more.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So Donald Trump is not your average run of the mill non-crazy person. So I use the word crazy. So in this post on Facebook, and again, I was watching Trump speak. He was at I want to think this aluminum processing company or whatever. And it was kind of weird because the backdrop, in fact, I have an article I'm going to write later about this, or a post I'm going to put up on IJR. There's a bunch of crushed aluminum cans behind him. But I'm watching him speak, and it occurred to me that there's kind of, I called it a slight chance that, and again, what I call craziness, but his normal craziness could actually play to his advantage, Jessica.
How?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's think about it. I mean, to be sure, right? Pantsuit, Pocahontas, the entire Democrat Party, their lapdogs in the liberal media will do their best nonstop for the next 5 months to paint Donald Trump as a raging lunatic, right? They're already doing it right now.
Oh, totally.
They're completely doing it. Just listen to Pocahontas, Hiawatha. That would be Lizzie Warren. Somebody came out and asked her to do a DNA test. I don't know that. Scott Brown, the guy she's running against, Massachusetts. But anyway, so yeah, like this, he's just this like raging lunatic that. Remember we played, who was it? P.J. O'Rourke a while back. We played a short clip of him saying like Hillary's crazy, but within normal bounds, and he just doesn't want Donald Trump having his hand on the nuclear button, right? I mean, yes. That's what these people are going to do, and it's what they're doing now. You completely paint Donald Trump as this raging lunatic. And I suggested on Facebook that even if he tries to live up, and he does, on occasion, right? If he tries to live up to this image that they're going to paint of him, he's not going to be able to get it done. Because they're going to make him, we'll see stuff that's going to make Donald Trump look certifiable, right?
Yep.
All right, so he can't live up to that even if he tries. So therefore, he comes off looking less crazy than a lot of people paint him out to be.
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I look, not that that is
Connecting
going
the
to
dots.
turn around any loons, right? Left wing loons, any liberals.
Mm-hmm.
But I suspect that you do have some people on the fence, right? That are, oh my God, I can't believe it. James Patrick Riley. We were gonna have him on today, but he had something come up. Remember him, Jim?
Yes. Mhm.
He's going to be on not next week, the following week. But people like that, you have the kind of like, we're going to hold our nose and vote for Trump. We don't like Donald Trump. Mark Tapson came out with something, I think. But I think you do have some people on the fence that are going, gosh, man, I don't know if I can do it or not. Right?
Yeah.
Convince me. And I think there may be a sliver of hope for some of these people that, or for the Trump side, that again, it can actually play to his advantage. That the Democrats might overplay their hand here and go all out to make him look like one flew over the cuckoo's nest type guy. And then, like, if you watched this speech yesterday, I've kind of lambasted him for using a teleprompter when he skewered those that did. But I could see yesterday he's already better with it being the teleprompter than he was the first time he used it. He had his hair kind of, shall I say, coiffed. I don't even know. What does coiffed mean? Just like fixed?
Yes, I think that is fixed.
It was less orange. It was less wild. It was, he looks like he may be like in the process of incrementally toning it back. I remember him saying sometime, maybe late last year, that were he to become president, he would not have the goofy hairdo. I actually remember him saying that. But I was watching him yesterday thinking, like, if you didn't know Donald Trump and his background of nuttiness, that because he's reading stuff that people are actually writing for him that he can't make up on the spot, which is what they all do, right? That's what politicians do, Donald. Hello, you're now a politician. That's what Hillary does. That's what Obama does. That's what they all do. I mean, they research stuff. They put the facts out there, and he was reading it. But I was thinking to myself, like, if you just like dropped onto the planet from Mars and flipped on a television and looked at what this guy was doing and how he was doing it, you wouldn't think all of the stuff that we know about Donald Trump that will be amplified for the next 5 months by the Democrats. So I think, again, him having been a bit of a loose cannon, shall we say, someone who has eagerly colored outside the lines, I think that may end up, possibly working to his advantage. So that's my point. And it just all occurred to me when I was watching him yesterday. So for that, I was labeled, again, I appreciate the top shelf blogger thing, but obviously I'm a critic of Donald Trump. But you know what? These people on Facebook that skewer me for picking on Trump, when I write stuff, and I've been pretty heavy on Hillary lately, that I don't get credit for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like everybody always wants to focus on the negative, or what they perceive as the negative.
I mean, I'm not crying in my beer or anything, but yeah. This is like Trump, right, and his supporters. I mean, like they're hammering all these polls now, NBC, Wall Street Journal poll, ABC poll that show Hillary leading Trump, right? They're just like, oh yeah, those are all like they oversample Democrats and they're not fair. Somebody actually put up, all you got to do is check out social media and you'll know that the polls aren't fair. And Britt Hume actually responded to it, and he said, "Let me guess. I bet you were fine with all the polls in the primaries that showed Trump leading." And she said, and Hume said he certainly was. So yeah, I mean, anything that's counter to what you want it to be. Speaking of Hillary, this I don't know that you've necessarily read anything about it, but the final, if you will, the conclusive House Select Committee on Benghazi report came out. See anything about that?
I did not.
It lambastes. That's the second time I've used that. Do you say lambasts or lambastes? I say lambastes. Anyway, the State Department and the administration, although it does not directly lay blame at the feet of Hillary Clinton, Victoria Taft, we've had her on the show. You know Victoria, don't you?
Yes.
Let me read just a couple of main points from the report. Huge, quote, failure on intel before attack. We know that Chris Stevens wanted to set up consulate. This is interesting. I didn't know this. He actually wanted to set up the consulate for Hillary Clinton to visit the following month for a victory lap. Panetta ordered Marines sent in. They were never sent. White House convened 2-hour meeting during firefight where they dithered over whether the fleet anti-terrorism security team should be in uniform. Don't know that. State Department employees were shocked at the talking points and said White House is off the reservation 5 times. This is about the Rice appearances where she lied and blamed the dopey video.
Yeah.
And it faults the State Department. Not one contingent of military personnel met their timelines to respond because of the dithering by the State Department, on and on and on. And the Republicans came out and were a bit stronger. They said, or do I have that? I have it in a different post. But anyway, the family, we've heard from various family members of the CIA guys, the SEALs that were killed, right? Mm-hmm. We've not heard from Chris Stevens' family until today. And actually, it was Tuesday. So Chris Stevens, the ambassador, the late ambassador to Libya, his sister, Dr. Ann Stevens, was asked the question in an interview, and we've all asked this, right? We've all asked this question. Whom do you fault for the lack of security that resulted in the death of your brother in Benghazi? They have never gone on the record with this. Who do you think she blames?
Who does she blame?
She doesn't blame Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Or the State Department, or the Obama administration. She blames underfunding by Congress. Let's assume by Congress she means the Republican-led House, because the House holds the purse strings. She falls into this underfunding nonsense. She says, in part, let me quote, "It is clear in hindsight that the facility was not sufficiently protected by the State Department and the Defense Department." Okay, but here we go. But what was the underlying cause? Perhaps if Congress had provided a budget to increase security for all missions around the world, this is a typical Democrat line. And bless her and the loss of her brother. But she continues, then some of the requests for more security in Libya would have been granted. Certainly, the State Department is under budgeted. I do not blame Hillary Clinton and she's referring to former CIA Director Leon Panetta. They were balancing security efforts at embassies and missions around the world, and their staffs were doing their best to provide what they could with the resources they had. You know what? And you got to be careful because, again, she lost her brother. But damn, Dr. Ann, come on. Here's, in part, what the House report said. This is reported by CNN, and I linked to it in my post on Independent Journal Review. Again, quoting, and this is quoting from CNN, the House Benghazi Committee report doesn't directly blame Clinton, but it does suggest, and I truncated this, but it does suggest she and other administration officials did not adequately address the risks involved. Again, still from CNN, the report stresses that intelligence was available to Clinton, suggesting an attack was possible, and she and a top aide, Patrick Kennedy, should have realized the risk posed to the Benghazi mission by extremist groups. Now, for those of you who've paid attention to this stuff, when Hillary was before the Select Committee last year, during her infamous "what difference does it make" little tantrum, she said, Jessica, that she was aware of the dangers in Libya, but, quote, there was no actionable intelligence indicating a planned attack. The committee apparently did not buy that. And again, back to the CNN quote, it is not clear what additional intelligence would have satisfied either Kennedy or the secretary in understanding the Benghazi mission compound was at risk, short of an attack. The Democrats, particularly on the Select Committee, have tried to paint this thing as Hillary's absolved and, everything's fine. And Hillary's come out with a video. There's Hillary said yesterday that there is the clip is all over, that let's put this thing behind us. 7 million wasted, umpteen politically driven investigations. But it's clear. It's clear that there was negligence. It's clear that Hillary Clinton did not necessarily say don't go, but ignored multiple requests to take a look at the security arrangements at that consulate in Benghazi. Yet, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm knowing a little bit about Chris Stevens and his background and everything else, and that's maybe not fair, but it is what it is. I'm not surprised that his sister or people in his family would buy the whole Democrat shtick, but that's exactly what's happening here. State Department, Hillary, Jessica, administration, not their fault. Damn it, if it weren't for the evil Republicans in the House of Representatives underfunding around the world, this would never have happened. It is complete bullcrap.
I agree, and I think it's like you said, it's she lost her brother, but I find
and you got to give her
interesting
props or whatever. Yeah,
I find it interesting that she comes out to say this now.
and I don't know if it was coincidental. I suspect that it probably was, because it was an interview that she gave, and I don't have that in front of me. It doesn't make any difference where it was. But this interview and her comments are published online on the same day that this report comes out. Coincidence? I don't know, but it was not a response. Let's give her that. It was not a response to the release of the report, but it just maybe those who released it was, but this was not her rushing to a microphone or online to make these comments, but. Somewhat disheartening. And, this thing, it's over. Hillary escapes, and we knew she would. There was no smoking gun. But this will remain, I think, in the minds of many people, as these people died needlessly. Maybe not Chris Stevens. Maybe there was not time to save him. But there was certainly time before it ever happened to pay attention to requests for additional security, to assess the situation on the ground and close that consulate or get people out of there. And this is all in the report. So you have that going on. But then after the fact, this thing went on for 6, 7, 8 hours. There's certainly, and Trey Gowdy just completely skewered the administration yesterday. I think it was 38 seconds, and I only know that because somebody put up an article on IJR about it, how long it took him to completely destroy the narrative of the White House on the timeline in terms of how long they said it would have taken to get to the last two guys. And forgive me, I don't have their names in front of me, but they were the Navy SEALs working for the CIA in Benghazi. So this will go down, in my humble opinion, as something that was preventable that no one was ever held accountable for.
I agree with that. I think there was a lot of missteps taken in that whole situation.
Yeah. Let's see. Should we do something fun or should we hit
We should do something fun. We have a few minutes left.
I don't know if I have anything fun. Oh, this is kind of fun. And I just put this up on a whim yesterday. I have some stuff. Man, there's a lot of stuff that I put up, but not put up, but that I kind of put together for the show, or just at least bookmark, and then we never get to it. Donald Trump. This is kind of fun. I just put this up on a whim yesterday, and it's got almost 100,000 views because people just love hating on Trump or hate loving on Trump or somewhere in between. So he hires Ted Cruz's communication director, right? Trump's trying to right the ship and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's name's Jason Miller. He was the senior communications director for Ted Cruz's campaign. All right, that makes sense, right? Trump needs a senior communications director. So he hires this guy, Jason Miller. Before Jason came aboard the Trump Express, he had just a little bit of housekeeping to do.
Okay.
Yeah, he had to delete all of his hashtag sleazy Donald tweets. Yeah. That's poor form, right? To go there and then have all that stuff there. His top operative for Lyin' Ted, we know who Lyin' Ted is, bashed the Donald on a regular basis on Twitter. Let's look at a few examples. He calls him a Trump bot. To me, a Trump bot is somebody who follows Trump, but he referred to him as a Trump bot. He goes, when was this? This was in May of this year, just in May. He goes, unbelievable watching this Trump bot on CNN tell Cruz to be classy. Trump described his avoiding venereal disease as his own Vietnam. That's true. And then he adds hashtag sleazy Donald. This is Trump's new communications director. Another one, what was this? Somebody he retweeted. I don't even know what this is because by the way, he deleted all of these. But as luck would have it, we were able to find some screenshots of them. So I can't click on them and see what they are. They're just screenshots. Because normally when we do tweets, we embed the tweets, so they're live. But anyway, he retweets something from Hallie Jackson, who says, quote, then the campaign took a darker turn. How low will Donald go? And then he just adds hashtag sleazy Donald. Another one, Donald Trump is the Carl Lewis of flip-flopping. I have literally never seen anyone move with such speed. Hashtag sleazy Donald. Another one, so which lobbyist wrote Donald Trump's foreign policy speech today? And what foreign companies have they done work for? Hashtag sleazy Donald. Triple Crown performance by the Don today. And he retweets something from Teddy Davis at CNN. Trump on abortion, 3 positions in 3 hours. And then there's a link to that. There's another one, hashtag sleazy Donald from Jason, but I'm sure he's different behind closed doors. And it's a retweet from someone tweeting, here's the full bit of Trump returning to birtherism and referring to Ted Cruz as Raphael, of course, his father, and when Ted was born in Canada, supposedly. So yeah, that's his new communications director. According to Bloomberg, as I linked in the article, Miller will, quote, take the lead role over the Trump campaign's message and interactions with the news media. So I concluded, Jessica, based on Trump's Twitter history, we know what that's all about. I'm thinking Jason Miller is going to fit right in.
I think that's interesting. I really think it's this election is going to be really close. I feel like we're going to be watching this like Brexit.
You think?
I do think so. I don't think anybody's going to get blown out of the water.
I mean, I think you're right as it relates to the popular vote. But I think when it comes down to the electoral vote, I think that it won't be that close.
Yeah, that's true. The Electoral College, yeah, I think.
Yeah, I just think when you look at the way it lines up, And I mean, and again, based on safe projections, Hillary's already at like she's over 200, and we need 270. So, and again, a projection is a projection. Polls are polls. They are what they are. What also is what it is we are out of here. I can't even believe it, man. We didn't get to 70% of the stuff, but I think we did a good show.
We did an awesome show.
All right, so have a happy weekend. We're heading down to the condo for an extended little bit of time. We'll be back, you guys, and I will announce on Facebook and other places when that will happen. But we appreciate you listening to the show, and tell your friends. So until then, this is, as we say, this is Mike Miller for Jessica Jane. Happy 4th of July, and we'll see you next time.
I think it's time to get away.